Hi, everybody. Welcome to Thursday. Hi, Rachel. Sadie's here with us for one last episode.
Hi.
Yeah. So, Sadie, where do you head off to next?
I go to Hillsboro.
Mm.
Yes.
And what rotation will you be doing there?
Family medicine at the
Okay.
hospital.
Oh, at the hospital.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So it's been good to have a student keep me on my toes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So keeping things fresh. It's great. That's good. Having a student's good. So Rachel, we started a new series. Remind us about that.
We did. Yeah, we just finished our Blue Zone series, and now we're into something we're calling health hacks. And we thought we'd kind of go through all the different types of health hacks. So there's nutrition hacks, there's sleep hacks, there's exercise hacks, mindset hacks, habit hacks, right? There's a lot of different ways. And we talked a little bit last week as we were introducing the series about that word hack. And it's, what do you think of when you think of a hack? What comes to mind?
Right. A shortcut, I guess, is what I think of. But I know that you have a what it is and what it isn't. So I'm hoping that you could kind of dig a little deeper in what we're talking about regarding a hack.
Yeah, because we don't want to leave the impression that we think that there is a shortcut, or that that shortcut mentality becomes diet mentality, and it becomes restrictive. Or if I just do this one thing, we become obsessive over these couple things, thinking it's going to solve all the problems.
Yeah,
and you and I have talked a lot about the foundations, the fundamentals of health, and in our practices, we talk about the protocols, and we help our patients and clients build their own protocol, right? What works for me and my lifestyle and the types of foods I eat, but they're all based on that foundation, the healthy foundation of things we know are true. When I think of health hacks, the way I think about them, and then I'll kind of read some definitions that can help put our mind in the right place. When I think of a health hack, I oftentimes describe it to clients as, you picture, you've seen like a sound recording studio, right? When people are like mixing music and people are in studio, and like, I remember seeing like a music video of Lionel Richie, and he was like in the music studio, and there's this giant soundboard with 100 knobs and buttons and little turny twisty things and upsy downsies and lefts and rightsies, right? And just the slightest nuance of a little tweak changes the music and mixes the music beautifully. And the soundboard person sometimes has to practice, and like a little bit of that, nope, not that, a little bit of that, yep, this one, And so often when we're working on our health and wellness, we've got our foundations, but then there's all these little buttons and all these little dials we could tweak or push, or little things to try out. Sometimes they work beautifully. Sometimes they don't work for you at all.
Right.
So that's how I think about it. Let me read to you kind of a description. So health hacks are, as a way that we're thinking about it, they are quick, doable ideas, prompts, and perspectives that spark momentum in your health and well-being. They're the little levers, right, that give the little nudge. Sometimes it's fun to have a new little spark of an idea to keep you going. Sometimes it's that thing that gets you a little unstuck, especially if you're bored or the monotony, you're not trying something new and walking away from your protocol. You're just adding a little new thing you've learned. So what they're not quick fixes. They're not diet culture in disguise. They will not solve everything. And they're not a one-stop shop fix. They're just meant to kind of refresh your protocol. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, I like that, because you're saying this is not a one size fits all. It's not what you said, quick fix. It's not the shortcut. Right. Yeah. It's adding nuance to your protocol. Yeah. Good. Yay. Well, I was thinking that.
Can I add one more thing? One more thing I want to add for people who are listening to keep in mind with health hacks is, for many of these things we talk about, you can get healthy, lose weight if that's what you're trying to do, remove medications from your list, reverse chronic disease without all these health hacks, right? You don't have to do them. Some could be really helpful, but they're not requirements. They're not like, this is the only way to get healthy. So I hope people hear that they don't think, oh no, I have to do all of these things, because it can feel like a laundry list of all sorts of things to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah. So yeah, I was thinking that we could talk about nutrition first. And then, talk about, do we have any hacks, that we use, that have nuanced our foundation of nutrition.
Yeah.
So, I guess I'm going to start.
Okay.
So one thing that I have found really helpful, for me, because we're trying to eat whole real food, is to, I have a couple of them in mind, but one of them is to, and I learned this, not just from Glucose Goddess, because if you learned it from somewhere, maybe we should mention that. But this was reinforced with Glucose Goddess. I learned to start my day, whenever I choose to break my fast from the night before, to start my day savory. So that's kind of a start savory is a quick little phrase that kind of is in my brain when I'm choosing my breakfast. Yeah. Whenever I decide to eat it. Yeah. So start savory. And I guess the idea behind that really helps me is that if I start with that savory taste rather than a sweet taste, it really informs the rest of my day and the choices that I make for the rest of my day. And, I've learned for myself, if I start with something sweet, I want something sweet. Yeah. Later and later and later. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a sweet taste like a fruit or something like that. But for me, it really helps my inform my choices for the rest of the day. So start savory would be a nutrition hack for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that you put in there the motivating reason behind it for you, right? What you notice about how it changes your behavior, what you notice the value, because if it has a value to you personally, it will be something that will be easy to do and it will become habit and the new norm. What would you say from a doctor's perspective is a medical reason or a biologic or physiologic reason that might also be a benefit?
Right. Well, when I think of a traditional American style breakfast, we're sitting down to cereal or a muffin or orange juice or toast or a cinnamon roll or something like that. Yeah. And all of those things are sweet. They break down very easily in the bloodstream. Or in the gut, I should say, and so into glucose or into sugar, and then those sugars are absorbed very quickly into the bloodstream. So and that quick uptake of glucose into the bloodstream then requires more insulin to manage, and then it sets me up for a potential roller coaster, quick uptake, and then a reactive low blood sugar, maybe more elevated blood sugar, and then a low blood sugar. And then that low blood sugar, I can really feel a slump in my energy. So a savory breakfast for me would be, an omelet, for example, a couple of eggs with some vegetables, or even a yogurt with some fruit. I know the fruit is sweet, but it's not sweet like French toast kind of a thing.
Right.
Pancake.
Yeah.
And and that's going to have more protein in it, and then it's not going to actually hit my brain in the same way or the same place in my brain that triggers that sugar craving for the rest of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. And that added fiber with a healthy fruit is going to slow the uptake of and slow that norm. We have a natural glucose rise. That's normal when we eat. We don't want those spikes and sharp falls. We want a nice gentle rise, a gentle slope. And fiber helps to slow that and to slow the uptake. So, and then we don't have as many cravings. You know, so like you said, the value for you is, it sets the tone. You're not craving sugar first thing in the morning. Yeah, I love that. Do you know, I have to throw my Dutch heritage under the bus because you mentioned the American diet, and I'm Dutch. And do you know one of the standard Dutch breakfasts is a piece of white toast with butter and chocolate cake sprinkles, like cupcake sprinkles. That is breakfast, y'all. That's a Dutch traditional breakfast. That's what? So, not just Americans who've got this.
Yeah.
But good. Thanks for sharing yours. And I love that we were able to kind of put a personal value on why this hack is good for you, and then maybe what could be the health benefits for it as well.
Yeah. How about you, Rachel?
Well, I'm going to steal one of yours that you've shared with me that was, I had never put it in the term of like a saying before. I kind of knew the wisdom behind it. And it's something that you shared with me that sort of started part of your health journey. And that was keep sugar in dessert. So, I know that the recommendation is that we should not be eating more than 25 grams of added sugar a day. So added sugar is not the natural sugars that come in fruits or natural vegetables and foods. Added sugar is when they put sugar in, right? The nutritional label says sugar or syrup or glucose or things like that. And so go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
I'll go ahead. And so I try to keep the added sugars out of my, try to keep it minimized, and if I can focus on 25 grams of added sugar a day, it allows me some little tasty sweet thing that I'd like a dark piece of chocolate. But it helps give me some boundaries to the day. But the idea of making sure, so I'm watching labels and things, but then also just realizing if I do want something sweet, put it in dessert and and try to eliminate all added sugars from normal foods.
Right.
Like sauces and condiments. Right. And, it's crazy how much sugar is added to all sorts of things and it sneaks right in there. I don't need sugar in dinner, right? Nothing about my dinner needs to be sweet. That's not what I'm doing. I'd like my sweet in my dessert. And so the more we focus and really separate those out, and I think probably the number one place to start is, like you said, breakfast, because that's the most common place for sugar to be in a meal. Yeah. So that's my favorites.
Yeah, that's great. I'm thinking about all those breakfasts as a kid. For me, it was Life cereal. It was probably a combination of 3 or 4 different cereals.
Yep.
And a bunch of milk and then sugar on top of that.
Absolutely. Sugar on top. Yes. If I could have sugar like at the bottom of my bowl with my milk, I love that last couple bites. I mean, sugar on sugar, really.
Sugar on sugar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sadie, how do you start your day? Yeah.
So I like to start my day with at least a sip of water. Like I made that before coffee or anything like that. It doesn't have to be a whole glass. I just like at least one drink of water. It kind of helps me feel like a clear, the day is going to be a clean day. Instead of straight to something strong and rich. It's just something my body needs. And so that's kind of how I've liked to start my day.
Yeah. Start with water. So that would be, start with water, start savory and keep sugar in dessert.
There you go.
Yeah. Those are great hacks. So I love to start with water because, you've just slept, hopefully well, and your body has done all this work to restore and revive and get rid of your lymphatic And so water is going to help flush all that away, and and start your day on a healthy note.
Mhm. Yeah.
Hydrate. Mhm.
Yep. I have a friend who uses that concept, and she doesn't allow herself any coffee until she's had she has like a big, thermos thing. And because she struggles to drink water on a regular basis, that's one of her ways to make sure it's at least, it's probably at least 16 ounces, if not 32 ounces, first thing in the morning. And I love the way you describe that, Dr. Gilbert, because I think about when I sleep, we all lose liquid as we sleep. We sweat. We whether you're a sweaty person or not, we are losing moisture at night. And I think about my body doing all this work all night. And so when I wake up, I think everybody in there is dehydrated. All my cells are shriveled. This is not true. I don't think there's any scientific background, but I just picture it. I just picture all my cells and my mitochondria and my organs, and everybody's like thirsty. And I plump myself up in the morning with a big glass of water.
Yeah. And I think there is a research behind this as far as starting your day with 16, 17 ounces of water. Can really rev your engine. I mean, it improves metabolism. So, hydrating your body from the get-go, improves metabolism. So I think there's real science behind all of these things we're talking about. Start savory, start with water, and, put sugar in dessert. It's not like you can't have sugar, right? But let's put it in its proper place. It's a treat. Yeah. We want to nourish our body with real food, and we want to save sugar for treats.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Good. These are great. I love these. They are hacks, and there's simple little phrases that I remind myself on a regular basis, so they become part of who I am.
Yeah.
And what I do. I practice them.
Yeah.
I tweak them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And they're easy. They can be playful and fun. Having a mantra around it, just like a sip, wake up in a sip, wake with a sip. Little mantras you can tell yourself. And these are things we encourage our clients and patients to add to their protocol, right? Yeah. So again, you have your foundation strategies to lose weight, maintain weight loss, but then it's what are the little things that really work for you? And it's good to keep a list. Some of these things I have to remind myself of. I keep them on lists on my mirror or in my kitchen, just daily reminders. Because really, I think as we go through this, people will start to recognize there's kind of a flow to the day, and all these little hacks can be added throughout the day.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. It's so funny. This might be TMI, Rachel, but we have to practice and train ourselves. Well, sometimes we have to train our husbands too, because it's my husband who actually makes coffee in the morning. And so I have trained him to bring water for us before coffee. So yes.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Yeah.
And I'm sitting like this, I'm just thinking about the show that I watched yesterday, Gilded Age. And the woman's, breakfast in bed, and the servant's bringing it to her. But I'm sitting in bed like that fancy lady, and my husband's bringing me my water to start the day.
Yeah. There's lots of ways to build it. I mean, you've developed a habit, and he's got a habit of it. But there's ways to develop it. I keep a full glass of water by my bed. So when I wake up in the morning and turn the light on or whatever, I see it as the first thing I see, and I'm like, well. Down it goes, right? So that's a hack, right? Keeping it somewhere where you can see it, or building it into some sort of before I drink coffee, right? So before you guys have your coffee, you have your water.
That's right.
Yeah.
So good. All right. Well, this is good, and I think I think we can. There's plenty. I have a few more that I'd like to share. But
I have many nutritional hacks. Yeah. So we'll stay on this topic for a couple weeks.
Yeah. Well, and I was going to tell Sadie that, or Rachel, that I'm going to show Sadie the my base salad. We've done some culinary teaching with our patients this week, and but I'm going to show her the base salad. We made yogurt. We've made flaxseed crackers. We've made hummus. What else? Oh, mayonnaise. We made mayonnaise, and I'm going to show her the base salad now with my lemon vinaigrette dressing. So, and that's what I'll have for dinner tonight with the protein. Not sure what that is, but yeah. So, what's for dinner for you?
What's for dinner? Okay, so this is the part of the show where we talk about what we're going to eat for dinner, which is sometimes takes us totally off guard and by surprise. And I haven't thought of my dinner yet. So let me think one moment. What am I going to do for? Oh, I know what we're going to do for dinner. Bowls. So this morning I batch food prepped some quinoa and put some containers in the freezer for later. And I batch cooked some soybeans. Took the whole dried soybean and batch cooked those. So I've got those in the freezer, but that's the makings of like a Buddha bowl or a Nourish bowl. So I know we have bell peppers, so we'll make my fancy orange sauce. And yes, we've got quinoa, soybeans. I know we've got garden alert. I have some tomato.
Wow.
Like 2 a day. And I get one cherry tomato, one baby, like little guy, one. So I eat it. No one else gets it but me. But yeah, so, and update, the zucchini are still the exact same size. They still have 2 pretty little yellow flowers that look happy and joyful, but they're in a state of frozen animation.
Okay.
I don't know what that's about. So,
well, I have plenty of zucchini, love to share.
Oh.
I can't, they're becoming boats, so I might have to row down. We're getting a little rain. Maybe I'll row.
Carve it out and yeah.
No. Okay, that sounds delightful. How about you have an idea for and that's okay.
No. I meal prepped my lunch for the whole week.
Winning.
There's been a mystery every night.
What was your lunch? What did you have for lunch?
For lunch, I had a tomato base with zucchini, mushrooms, onion, and a ground tofu mix.
Yum, yum, yum. That sounds really good.
Yeah, Sadie is plant slanted like you, Rachel. Yeah,
I was getting the feeling. Yeah. I love to hear it. So I'm like, oh, what is she making? What do I need to hear? What do I need to make?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, I think people will really enjoy these hacks and the little mantras and try them and tweak them and let us know.
Yeah, share in the comments your hacks. If you've got some hacks and you're listening, please share them in the comments. I read all those comments. Other people can see them there too, so you can help them out as well.
Yeah, sounds good.
Right.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Yep, we'll see you next week.
Bye.